All right, tonight we're here with Bonnie Gayle from Sex Butter. I'm really excited to have her here. She is such an interesting product. Hi, Bonnie. How are you doing tonight?
I'm awesome. How are you?
I'm good. A lot of my listeners and people who watch my show know that we're in the sack with Dr. Sarah, and we talk about sex toys, what lubricants, what toys, condoms, etc. are the best to use. And you've probably been one of my best promoters since I started about a year ago. Bonnie's been so amazing about tweeting about me, getting the SAC app out there, and I just wanted to thank you first about all of that.
Oh, of course, of course.
And Bonnie has made probably one of the best lubricants I've seen on the market right now. Do you want to tell us a little bit about Sex Butter?
Yeah, I would love to. It's really kind of a combination of a sexual lubricant and a desire enhancer. The reason I say that is we have a little bit of mint in it, so it kind of like wakes you up down there without any type of burning sensation, so it's really feel good. And it also enhances arousal, orgasm, all of the feeling part of it. So not only does it lubricate, but it just feels incredible.
Well, I could see how mint does that. I mean, it does a lot of things, but definitely that. What inspired you to develop this?
That's a good question. Obviously, not obviously, but I can guarantee you it's definitely not what you think.
It's probably a lot of people. A lot of people probably have the same problem, which inspired you, basically, right?
Yeah. Well, when I was 41, I went into perimenopause, and my body really changed drastically overnight from it. Where, like, even walking around was physically painful, whether I was sexually active or not.
Wow.
And I found out I had the beginning stages of vaginal atrophy.
Mm-hmm. Wow, that's young to have that, actually.
Yeah, a lot of women do, and they don't really realize that that's what it is.
That it's starting to happen. Mm-hmm.
And you know what? I was really young at the time, so I was asking all my friends, like, is this happening to you? Is this happening to you? And it wasn't happening to anybody.
Ugh.
So I felt like something was wrong with me. And finally, eventually, I went to the doctor, and they just told me, well, use lubrication and have more sex. But
you're like, really? Thanks.
I was already eating pretty organic, and I was already on my health journey. Mm-hmm. And when I started looking at the ingredients in so many lubrication products, and at the time it was really everything.
Right.
Since that time, there have been some that have come out that are not, toxic. But at that time, everything was toxic, and I was just, like, horrified. And I was like, I can't do this.
Right. Well, a lot of them do, and they're all full of, sodium lauryl sulfates, parabens, and different, even sometimes people don't realize what they're putting in them or are taking. And, even just like with, prescription medications, like I find as a practitioner, that they are very toxic to the system, and people don't realize that.
Right. Even like glycerins and sweeteners, and they have a lot of side effects. And people don't realize that it ruins the vaginal lining and ruins the tissue. Propylene glycol.
Oh, yes.
I mean, they use that to clean jetliners, and it's part of the antifreeze.
Which is creepy.
So there's a lot of toxic stuff. And you know what? Your vagina has no filter.
No, definitely doesn't. They say it's very, like, self-cleaning, but it's not going to be, if you're putting chemicals into your body, such like parabens and stuff, that's not a good thing. And I think a lot of the things that we do or have done in our past probably contribute to, like, something like early menopause or, getting your period earlier in life as a young child.
I totally agree.
Right.
I totally agree. And, there's toxic things in sex toys, too. So it's not just lubricants, but it's really, I think it's just so important that people start, like, really reading the ingredients and researching them, not just, buying something because it's the cheapest thing out on the market.
I agree. Totally. Speaking of the parabens, what makes your product different from all the others out there that people can use?
Well, we have an organic product that are made of all plant-based oils. All the oils are healing oils to the skin and body, like, for instance, and you've heard of all of them, like cocoa butter, which comes from the cacao seed, shea butter, which a lot of people use, like, on their lips. It's part of organic chapstick.
Right.
Coconut oil, which, everybody knows about.
That's huge
people are either
now
eating
for
it or
everything.
using it on their body one way. Jojoba oil, which has been around for centuries as a healing oil. Grapeseed oil, the same thing, and the hint of peppermint. You know, everything that we use is all non-toxic, and they're like the highest quality oils, and we blend them together in a way that it comes out to be kind of like a whipped butter when you receive it, and then when you take a little bit out and you apply it, you rub it into the, you know, just between your fingers to get it starts to moisten up. And it's antifungal and antibacterial. It pH balances the vaginal area, so you don't get yeast infections and all kinds of other things from it. There are no petroleum oils in our product.
Which is huge in causing women to get yeast infections all the time. And I mean, it might sound gross to some people, but I would rather use sex butter than using anything else out there on the market than get a yeast infection for about 7 days and then you have to treat it. Oh. You know, that's nothing
And you
worse.
know what? And urinary tract infections, too, a lot of times. People get those from that, too.
Absolutely. I think this is such a great thing that you developed. Now, who helped you develop this? Did you do this by yourself or?
Oh, no. I worked with, originally I had one formulation which I improved upon, and so this formulation I worked with a microbiologist who specializes in using natural products, you know, and one of the things that we worked on, and this is the only product of its kind, is that it works for people that have sexual pain as well.
Mm-hmm. There's actually a lot of that actually doing what I do in the medical profession. There is a lot of symptoms of that, and then they go on all these hormone creams. And I always sit there and I just bite my lip going, oh, my God, this is probably the worst thing you could do for yourself, honestly.
I know. And we are hormone-free. Hello.
That's huge.
And it smells great. It smells like a peppermint patty or an Andes mint.
There's nothing wrong with that.
And it tastes really good, too. I mean, it just tastes very natural, like dark chocolate, not bitter, but just that doesn't have any sweetener in it.
Well, we're getting some down here at the SAC app. We're going to put it on the show this week. I hope we get it by Friday.
Yes, you are. It's already been sent.
Good, good. I can't wait to show all my listeners and viewers Friday night what's going on about this.
Oh, that's awesome.
Now, how long did it take
Well,
you
I'd love for you to, like, try it and be able to talk about it from your own experience.
Well, we got to find somebody that I want to try it on,
Bonnie. Me.
There's nobody worthy lately to try it on here in Boston.
Well, okay, you can use it alone and with sex toys, too.
Actually, that leads me to that. So it is safe to use with, say, sex toys and condoms, right?
You can use it with certain types of condoms. You can use them. You can't use them with latex condoms, but you can use them with, there's a new condom out called Skin, S-K-Y-N. You can use it with skin condoms. You can use it with, with the rubber condoms, and you can also use them with lambskin condoms, but you can't use them with latex. The FDA says no latex with any oil-based products, period, and they don't distinguish between plant-based oils and petroleum oils, so we have to say that.
Okay, that's good to know, at least, because then you don't get sued for any pregnancies that you don't want to be paying for, right?
Right.
So what are the benefits, especially to the females that do have painful sex?
It completely soothes sexual pain. If somebody was using it like a little bit every day, it would help rebuild the lining. It really heals like tissue tears. I have so many people. I have cancer survivors using this product, you know, post-chemotherapy for female issues just because it feels so good. It takes away like that burning sensation. It takes away any itching sensation or searing, S-E-A-R-I-N-G. You know, all of that is just really painful. And I tell women to use it like a vaginal moisturizer for those purposes, where they just take a little drop out and use like a little bit every morning and every night. And I mean, a jar would literally last 2 to 3 months using it that way. So I'm not trying to get them to buy a ton of stuff. It's just they really need so little, but it just is really so good for them, and it makes them feel good.
Well, that's good to know, especially with the chemo drugs out there. They're toxic to the system. I mean, let's be honest, and it does a lot of things to people that they don't see coming. So that's really nice that there is a product for them to still feel sexual out. You know what I mean? Even though, like, you know, they might be losing hair or whatever, which is the worst. So,
Well, and a lot of antidepressants and diabetes medication also takes away your libido.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. I know about that with the antidepressants. That's a common complaint from some of my patients.
Well, this works on that. And the nice thing is you don't have to take drugs.
Mm-hmm.
It literally works within minutes of application. So it's just kind of like a whole different, it's, a whole different way of thinking. Like, you don't have to, like, oh, my God, I missed my pills today. And you don't have to be on drugs.
Right. That's so true. I think this is such a great product. And you've been so good about promoting. So do you like my app that we have out there?
Oh, I do. I love your app. I'll tell you, if I was single, oh, my God. When I was single, I was totally crazy. I wish I would have had that app because it just, it's just so great to keep track of things. And,
right.
I think that when especially if you're, with multiple partners or
which is
if
common
you're with a
now,
partner and
especially with the millennials.
You just feel like you're not having sex enough, and that way you keep track of things and you kind of let them know that they're not really taking care of you.
Right. I know. We actually have an upgrade coming. My developer's a little slow on getting the upgrade. I can't wait to tell you about what's coming next for the SAC app. But, I mean, it is good, and reasons, too, like, you're promoting a good sex product, and I'm trying to promote, it's for HPV purposes. A lot of women out there don't realize that you can get HPV and that causes cancer down the line, with or without a condom. And that's my biggest message. A lot of girls don't know that.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, and I think that, your sexual health is so important. And I think that's what we're both about,
right,
is promoting sexual health and awareness.
It totally is. So how's your business going out there in California? I see you on a lot of shows, so I'm really excited to bring you out here to the East Coast and the Boston market.
Oh, well, thank you. No, I'm excited. Well, I think that we kind of like went viral a couple weeks ago in a way for the first time ever.
Oh.
Because since I reformulated, which, the product just kind of came out like February of last year, the new version in its final form. And, so it took me a while to kind of get up and running again because it was like 14 months with no product, which was devastating.
I understand. That's how I feel about the app right now.
Yeah, but at least you have one app before you get, before the other one.
Right.
In my case, I didn't have anything to tie me over, and so it was kind of drastic.
It is.
So I really kind of lost my customer base.
Oh.
And then what happened was somebody wrote an article in the Huffington Post about 11 tips to a happy vagina, and sex butter was one of the tips.
Was it?
And everything went crazy.
Oh, see, this is new information. Tell me about this.
Yeah, so it was an amazing article. It was written by Pamela Madsen.
Okay.
And it made it onto Huffington Post, and it actually even got translated into, I think it went to Germany also, and got translated in an Asian
oh, God, that's perfect.
Language as well.
Right.
And so we started to even get orders, from overseas, but mostly the orders came from the U.S., and we got a few from Canada. Mm-hmm. And I just, what it is? It's all about exposure. And I feel like, I put all the money really into developing the product to make sure that the product was something that I could be proud of, that I would want to use, that, that I could really stand behind.
Right.
And, that was kind of the reason my partner and I split, is I found some problems with her product, and we needed to fix it, and she didn't want to do it, and that's the reason, I had to go out and start over again.
That's so. I've been there. I've done that. We'll talk offline sometime about that. I've been there. I understand.
Oh, yeah. So
100%.
so you know how that goes.
I do.
And so finally, I think that it's finally starting to get exposure, and that's really what it needs.
That's very exciting.
To get out there. It just needs to be known about.
Right. Now, have you talked to the swingers over at Playboy Radio?
I haven't.
Swing Time 69. I'll have to put you in touch with them after with Twitter. I think that you guys are both in California. They would love this stuff. I'm telling you.
I would love to. I think it would be awesome.
They're amazing.
I was on a show that was in Spanish at Playboy, and then they translated it. But I think that in English it would be good to be able to be on a show like that.
Right. they're really good about that stuff, and they're really into having sex. So
Yeah.
that's always a good market. I love to help people that help me, and I like to help other females out there try to grow their business. That's one of my things. It's nice to do for each other, pat each other's back and see everything.
Absolutely. I mean, I'm all about that too. It's like I think that, we're women, and if we help other women and we make women aware of things, that it just makes the world a happy place. I mean, when you have an unhappy woman, everybody around her is unhappy.
A lot of hormones going in that.
Yep, absolutely.
Definitely. But
I totally agree.
So, well, I'm excited to bring you to the Boston market. I hope I'm helping you. Where can my Boston viewers actually buy your product?
So they can buy it online at sexbutter.net.
Okay. We'll put that actually up on the show. We do a couple pictures and links to all our guests.
Great.
Yes.
And you should give me the links also.
Oh, absolutely.
I'll put it out there.
We're going to put you on. I probably will go on Saturday. So I can't wait to have everybody hear about you. And once I get that product, I'm going to have a couple guests on, and we're going to talk about the product on Friday night.
Oh, awesome. I like it.
Yeah. So, well, thanks for joining me tonight. Again, we have Bonnie Gayle from Sex Butter. It's probably one of the best lubricants you can buy out there, and I can't wait for all of you to experience it, maybe even myself.
Oh, yeah. Yes, even yourself, for sure.
Absolutely. Well, thanks for joining me tonight. I can't wait to give you a little bit more exposure later on this week, and we'll be chatting, Bonnie.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
All right.
Sarah.
We'll talk soon.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.